I just have to tell you guys why I think Auki is so fucking cool. So let's take the founders, Nils and Santori. Nils grows up in Sweden with tech-savvy parents, is around computers from a young age, really intelligent, curious mind, obviously with really good parents as well, and goes on to become a professional gamer and receives really cool mentorship when he's a gamer, who encourage him to go out and study philosophy and to maybe even join the military to get some discipline and sort of grow up a little bit. So he goes off to the military, gets that discipline, that hard work, that drive, that military mindset, and then goes off and studies philosophy. And who does he happen to study? The great Terrance McKenna. As you can see by the white paper, Auki's heavily influenced by Terrance McKenna. And this is just so cool because Terrance McKenna is a lot of things, but he was a philosopher and a psychedelic explorer, and he used psychedelics like mushrooms and DMT to explore the realms of consciousness. And he talked a lot about language and how language created our reality, and he had a lot of predictions around virtual reality and how he saw that we were going to mix with virtual reality and the physical and the mental realms were going to come into one interconnected thing within the world. And
maybe the bridge concept is virtual reality. Obviously, we're on the brink of building computer-assisted worlds that don't, quote-unquote, really exist, but which we will experience the way we experience dreams or the imagination. And I think this is where psychedelic substances come in. Shamans have always entered into a non-physical realm of information through trance. In a way, there's nothing new here. This is part of the archaic revival.
all right, you've got that. And then you've got Santori, who is another really intelligent mind with, from what I've heard, smart parents, because they encouraged him to go and learn Mandarin and to be in the Asian cultures because they're on the rise. And he goes all around the world working a bunch of different super highly competitive jobs in a range of things like the fashion industry, where you've got to iterate on a bunch of different, you've got summer here and winter there, and then you've got to take that data and put it into here to make changes. And then he works in other environments, and somehow these two really cool minds end up in the same room at some point. How does the fucking universe work, boys? We don't deserve that. So they get together in the same room, and what do? They fucking go and build a virtual layer for the game Warhammer. And that's a tabletop game where you have like physical moving pieces, and they wanted to build the virtual layer so that they could add extra excitement into the game. Virtual characters, you could have little scenes doing this and that. And basically they ran into a bunch of different problems with this. It was pretty much impossible to do with the technology we've got now. So what happens? In the midst of trying to fix that, they birth a new spatial computing software, which they patent, and they build it. And it just happens to be right at the same time when the metaverse craze was on. Remember 2021? Everyone's talking about the metaverse, people were buying virtual real estate in the millions of dollars. Snoop Dogg was fucking having concerts in the metaverse. It was crazy. And just by that luck of the timing, they happened to raise $19 million. All right, so we've got these two crazy fellas with awesome philosophy, really worldly guys, have traveled all around, know different cultures, languages, all this, and we just happened to get them $19 million.
So many activities!
And what do they do next, boys? They do not fucking disappoint. They take this software and turn it into a whole decentralized network where it's applicable to a bunch of different industries all around the world, and they're laser focused on getting this thing adopted on a wide scale. So now we're in the first early stages of seeing these guys pull this off. They've turned the whole network into a decentralized system where it's got crypto for rewards. Every time you want to use the pose mesh to build apps on it or develop some type of software that leverages the pose mesh, you have to pay with Auki tokens. You burn them and then get credits, and then boom. Now, as they're building this out, boys, keep in your mind, remember Terrance McKenna and remember the Eastern philosophy. They've got good morals, and they realize that building augmented reality solutions can actually really harm humans because it can be used to control us. If you think of putting on augmented reality glasses and all of the data just goes to a centralized cloud, now they are literally tracking all of your data. They're seeing through your eyes. They're tracking the movements of your eyes to know exactly the emotions that you're feeling, and they can put targeted advertisements out. They can slowly manipulate you. And the coolest fucking thing is, of course they did it. Of course these boys did this, these cool motherfuckers, because they went and got, what's the guy's name again? It is, they went and got Alistair Reynolds, the creator of Zima Blue from Love, Death, Robots.
And as I do, I will slowly shut down my higher brain functions.
And he wrote a story about what could happen to someone if they had augmented reality glasses that were controlled by a centralized authority. And basically, I'm not going to give up the story because I want you guys to go watch it. It's called End User by Alistair Reynolds. And basically the story is about this guy that gets these augmented reality glasses, and it slowly, just incrementally starts to change the way he thinks. And that's all I'm going to say, because I really want you guys to see it. It's really cool. It's fucking Zima Blue quality, boys. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I love these motherfuckers. Anyway, so they've realized this, and they realize, wow, if we want to create a better world for everyone, we need to build a decentralized approach where the data is not all stored in a centralized place by a centralized authority who controls it. It needs to be spread out, or you need to have the option to be able to control your own data. So they built the PostMesh into a DPIN, a decentralized physical infrastructure network, where people all around the entire world can run different types of nodes that can be used for the spatial computing, for the PostMesh. So if a hotel, for example, wants to set up their own directory and they want to keep the data, they just run their own server, and then boom. And then their plan, boys, is for there to be domains all around the world that you can check into, and boom, 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 boom. But for now, these guys are just focused on building out applications with real use cases to have real customers, because, you know, they've got the hard work ethic, they've got the creativity, they're coming up with different ideas. But boys, we're just in the start of this, all right? They're just going after the low-hanging fruit right now, like the retail, like maybe in some defense sort of stuff. Like they're just going, they have to get this thing up and running. These boys now have a team of 20 absolute beasts, all with the fucking mission of taking this thing to the fucking top, boys. We're going straight to the top.
Time is gone. We gotta expand. The whole operation. Distribution. New York, Chicago, LA.
We got fucking Phil Shaw, head of robotics. We got fucking Tracy Liu, creative technologist. The fucking great and the one and only Robin Lind, head of spatial computing. Fucking all these guys quite often check into the community updates, and you can hear from them. You just hear what their updates are, what they're working on. It's fucking cool, boys. I'm telling you, I'm a super fan. I'm an Auki super fan. Number one fan, Pistol. We are witnessing history right now, boys. Never has there been a time where a standard fuckwit like me can log on to my computer at home and I can get weekly updates hearing what these guys are doing on a regular basis.
The update for June 27th.
I might even say g'day to them while we're in the community update. And we get to constantly learn from guys like these who are thinking creatively, thinking business-minded. They're coming up with solutions. You get to see them doing it on the fly. It's like, imagine being able to go back and just watch Elon from the start of Tesla. Like, that's really cool. We're seeing a fucking movie right now. And fucking no one even pays attention. And it shits me up the wall, boys. People need to get their fucking priorities sorted. Think about this, boys. Terrance McKenna has essentially spoken Auki into existence. I would give my left fucking nut to see Joe Rogan and Nils Peel on a podcast, high on mushrooms, talking about Terrance McKenna. Throw in a couple of fucking back of the napkin calculations and you've got me, boys. And because it's a decentralized protocol, anyone in the world that aligns with this type of philosophy, who's also smart, can just jump on board and start building on top of it. They don't need a degree. They don't need that much money. If they've got good ideas and they know how to code, they can apply for grants. Like, this is like an intertwined web of just attracting absolute fucking savages, boys. And I'm fucking taking a bet on it. And I don't care what anyone says. All right, if anyone's getting my capital, it's sick cunts like these. Because they fucking deserve it. I invested heavily in Auki, boys.
And it felt so good, I wanna do it again. And it felt so good, I wanna do it again.
That's worth taking a bet on. Guys who are having a real crack in life. And if I lose my money, I lose my money. You know what? It was fucking worth it for the entertainment. This is what life's all about, boys. Okay, so now that you can conceptualize Auki, we know the basics of what it is, we know what they're trying to do, where they're going. Now, the next episode, we need to get into the fucking numbers, boys. We need to get into the nitty-gritty to see if this thing's actually working or not. Along with that, I want to dive into the competitors. Who the fuck are these guys up against? You know, who are the centralized competitors and who are the other decentralized competitors, and what sets Auki apart from them? So fucking stay tuned, boys. Exciting times. Let's fucking go.
It's the time of the season when love runs high.